haunted Roppongi Hills, Japan. What if the place you thought was the pinnacle of modern luxury was actually hiding a darkness so deep it could consume anyone who dared to live or work there? Roppongi Hills, one of Tokyo's most prestigious and luxurious developments, is a shining beacon of modernity. Towering skyscrapers, upscale shops, and exclusive restaurants. It's a place where the rich and powerful gather. But beneath the glittering surface, something far darker lurks. Something that few are brave enough to speak about. It is said that Roppongi Hills is haunted, and not just by the restless spirits of the past, but by something active, something malicious, waiting to prey on the living. And if you're unlucky enough to live or work there, it may just find you. The story begins with the construction of the Roppongi Hills complex in the late 1990s. As the development began, workers reported strange occurrences. Tools would vanish, only to reappear in places they couldn't have been. Some heard whispers in the empty hallways of the unfinished buildings, while others claimed they saw shadowy figures moving in the corners of their vision. But it wasn't until a tragic accident occurred during the final stages of construction that the rumors truly began to spread. A young worker, just 23 years old, was found dead on the construction site under strange circumstances. He had fallen from the upper levels of the building, but the odd thing was, his body showed no signs of injury, no broken bones, no blood, just an unnatural, cold stillness to his form. No one could explain it. His death was ruled an accident, but the workers knew better. That night, the whispers grew louder, and the unsettling presence within the unfinished building seemed to grow stronger. As the complex opened to the public in 2003, more reports surfaced. Residents of the luxury apartments began to experience strange phenomena. Objects moving on their own, flickering lights, doors that would slam shut on their own. But the most chilling part was the feeling of being watched. It was as if the very walls of Roppongi Hills were alive, observing those who walked through them. Some claimed to hear faint cries in the dead of night. Others swore they saw figures standing just outside their windows, staring into their rooms, only to vanish when they turned around. But it wasn't just the residents who felt the presence. The staff working in the luxury shops and restaurants soon became the next victims of the haunting. Employees in one of the high-end restaurants reported feeling cold drafts despite the air conditioning being off. Cutlery would fall from the tables, and the kitchen would mysteriously catch fire at night when no one was there. But the most terrifying incident occurred late one evening, when a manager working alone in the building was found unconscious in the lobby. When he awoke, he could barely speak. His eyes were wide with terror, and when asked what had happened, he only whispered one word: "It followed me." Rumors began to spread that the haunting was tied to the construction site, specifically to the area where the young worker had died. It was said that his spirit had never left, that it lingered within the walls of Roppongi Hills, seeking revenge for the mysterious circumstances of his death. But others believed that the true cause of the haunting was even darker, that the land itself had been cursed long before the first building was ever erected. Some whispered that the land had once been the site of an ancient temple, long since destroyed, and that the spirits of those who had once worshipped there were angry at the disruption. Others claimed the buildings had been built on a burial ground, where restless souls wandered, never at peace. Whatever the cause, one thing became clear. The more people tried to ignore the presence in Roppongi Hills, the stronger it grew. Years later, stories continued to circulate. Some said the hauntings had become worse, with entire floors of the buildings left abandoned as employees and residents fled in fear. Late-night security guards reported seeing shadowy figures moving through the halls, and in the darkest corners of the complex, the temperature would drop so suddenly that their breath became visible in the air. No one truly knows what haunts Roppongi Hills. Some claim it's the spirit of the young worker, eternally trapped in the complex, while others say it's a far more sinister force, one that feeds on the fear of those who live and work there. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. Roppongi Hills may be a symbol of luxury, but its polished exterior hides a chilling secret. And if you ever find yourself walking through its gleaming corridors late at night, you may just feel a cold breeze brush past you, or hear a faint whisper calling your name. And then you'll know, you're not alone.